Hello everyone, welcome to our channel 2 Bits. Those who are new, let me tell you, this is our third video on the InfyTQ series, and in this video we will solve some problem related to object-oriented programming. Please stay with me till the end of this video and I'll guarantee you that you will be able to approach all of these questions and you will know how to solve such kind of questions. And trust me, these are the type of questions that are asked in the InfyTQ exam. In this question, we have an object M of class mobile. Now, whenever an object is created, the first thing that is called is the constructor of the class. Please remember that as it is very important. So, when the object M is created for the mobile class, the constructor of the mobile class will be called, and the first statement that is printed is I am in constructor. Another important thing is that consider self passed here is M, as M is the object of the mobile class and it is calling the constructor. Now M is calling the update software function. So when we reach the update software function, statement 2 will be printed, that is updating softwares. So our object creation part is completed. Now the function run is called by the object M. So when we go to the run function, a third statement will be printed, that is running. So the order of answer would be I am in constructor, updating softwares, and the last statement that would be printed is running. So B and C are incorrect and the correct option is A. Let's move on to the next question. Again, this is an easy question and these will be the type of question that will be asked during the InfyTQ exam. Now, in this question, the first object that is created is of class B. So, as we discussed, whenever an object is created, the constructor of that class is always called. So, when object B is created, the constructor of class capital B would be called and self passed here would be small b. Now, inside the constructor, the super function is called, which makes a call to the parent class. Here, B is inheriting class A. So, the init method of class A would be called passing 50 as a parameter. Again, this init was called through object B. So, self here would be B. Now, the parameter passed was 50. This statement says that object B has a parameter A whose value will be equal to 50. Object B has a parameter A whose value would be 50. Now, our first statement is executed. Now, object A is created for the class A and 20 is passed in as a parameter. So, as we discussed, whenever an object is created, first thing that is done is calling the constructor of that class. So here, when we call the constructor on object A, so object passed here would be A and the parameter is 20, so here the value would be 20. Now this statement says that there is an object A which has a parameter A whose value is 20. So there is an object A which has a parameter A whose value is 20. Now this statement has completed its execution. Next statement, that is b.index of A. Now the object B is calling the function index and passing the parameter as A. So object B is an object of class B. So the function would be called is this index function as it is inside class B. Now the object that is calling this function would be passed as self, and the parameter that is passed here is A. So this would be A. Now as the referencing parameter passed here is A, so this would be A dot index instead, as the parameter passed here is A, and if it was self dot index then it would have been B, but here we have a local parameter named B in which the value passed was A, so A dot index would be called. Now A is an object of class A. So now index function inside class A would be called, and self passed here would be A. Now this function states that as the self passed here is A, so this says that A has a parameter A whose value is incremented by 10. So now A had a parameter A whose value previously was 20, now it is incremented by 10. Now this value will be equal to 30. Now this says that print self here was A, so print parameter A of object A. Now this value was 30, so 30 would be our answer. If you did not understand this, please watch the video again and I will explain the next question in a similar manner. So let's move on to the next question. Let's start with this question. Now don't skip the question thinking that it's too long, because it is an easy question. So we are given here an object named Maruti of class 4-wheeler and passing parameters as 4 and red. So whenever an object is created, the constructor of that class is called. So we will move to the constructor of the 4-wheeler class. Now the constructor takes in its parameter as 4 and color would be red. Now the self passed here would be Maruti. So when we move inside this constructor, a super function is called. Super functions is called on the parent class and the constructor of the parent class is called and the color value is passed here. So 4-wheeler class is a subclass of the class vehicle. So constructor of vehicle class would be called and the parameter passed here would be red, and as it is called by the Maruti object, so self here would be Maruti. Now Maruti has a parameter named color whose value is red. So Maruti has a parameter color whose value is red. Now this statement has been executed and the next statement will be executed. The self was Maruti and number of gears is a parameter whose value would be 4 as 4 is passed here in the function. So it has another parameter which is number of gears and the value is 4. Now first object creation is done. Now the print statement will be executed and Maruti.color is right now red and Maruti.number of gears is currently 4. So this print statement would print red and 4. Now our second object creation will be done for the class two-wheeler, and the object name is Activa, and whenever a class object is created, the constructor is called. Now when we move to our two-wheeler class, the constructor of the two-wheeler class will be called and the parameter would be passed as 80. Now when we move inside the constructor of the two-wheeler class, a super function is called, and as two-wheeler is a subclass of the class vehicle, the constructor of vehicle class would be called and parameter passed in would be red. So constructor of two-wheeler class called the constructor of the vehicle class. So self passed here would be Activa, and the color passed here was red. So the color is red. Now this statement says that Activa has a parameter color whose value is red. So Activa has a parameter color whose value is red. Now this statement has been executed. Next statement is Activa has a parameter engine.cc whose value is 80, as 80 is passed here as the local value. So Activa has another parameter engine_cc whose value is 80. Now this statement is executed, and the next statement is Activa has a parameter color whose value will be updated to blue. Now initially the value was red. Now this parameter's value will be updated to blue. Now this statement has been executed, and let's move on to the print statement. The print statement wants to print the value of the parameter color and engine_cc. So the color value is blue and engine_cc is 80. So blue would be printed as the color and 80 would be printed as the engine_cc value. So our answer would be red 4 and blue 80. Now in some questions, the answer given is as error. This is not the correct answer, and if this is given as the answer, then please check the spelling mistakes and the typing mistakes in the question. Thank you so much for watching. If you learned something new or this video helped you in any way, then please like, share and subscribe to our channel as it motivates us to make new videos. Thank you.